Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com, and today we're going to talk about overcoming doubt. I think it's really important, especially for the people. This channel has basically become a narcissist channel. It was a dating relationship coaching channel, but we'll figure it out. I got some good news, and I think this video is going to help a lot of you because the number one thing narcissists do is they want to put doubt in your mind. I'll explain that in a second. So first, we're going to get our bougie candle going. This is tradition here. Alright, so we got our bougie candle going for you fire starters so you can see it. And get a little bit of a sage going here. Again, this is mountain sage. I love this stuff. It's the best, way better than, I think it's not as smoky. Although this one tends to be a little bit more smoky than the last batches, but I like it. Alright, and again, this breaks up negative energy, negative connections to not good things, so it's kind of good to have. I put it out in I have like a copper mug where I have sand. I have sand in here. So it puts it out. So when you use water to put it out, it kind of ruins it. Okay, so let's get this going. All right, so the number one thing that narcissists do to you is they put doubt in your mind. Okay, so let's talk about doubt. All right, so the number one thing a narcissist is going to do is they're going to put doubt in your mind. They're going to confuse you. The number one technique that they would use for this would be gaslighting. They will say one thing and then 5 minutes later say, I never said that. Or they may say the complete opposite. And when you confront them, you're like, wait, I thought you just said that like 5 minutes. No, I never said that. It's called gaslighting. It puts doubt in your mind. Wait, you did though. And they know that they're lying to you. In fact, they're doing it on purpose. So a lot of people do they know that yes, they 100% know that they're gaslighting you, that they're playing mind games, that they're lying to you. They 100% know this. Okay, there's no doubt. This is their expertise. Like literally, this is like, some people go to be professional dentists or doctors or lawyers or mechanics or whatever. Well, this is what they do professionally. They study it. They've been studying it their whole life since they're probably about 6, 7, 8 years old. Okay, they love manipulating people. It's their whole thing. They're con artists. So yes, they're doing it on purpose. Have no doubt about that. And here's what's going to happen eventually. You're going to see it and go, holy shit, they're doing this on purpose. One of the ways you know is they'll do something to fuck with your mind, and you might get hurt, you might get confused, and then out of the corner of your eye, you might kind of look over your shoulder, and they got this evil smirk. They're smiling, they're grinning. It's called a smirk. That's like when you catch that, that's when you know, like, oh, they're doing this shit on purpose. Yeah, they're doing it on purpose. They enjoy it. So now, how do you overcome doubt? That's what this video is about. You overcome doubt by realizing everybody has doubt all the time. All right? So here's what I mean. Let me give you some real life examples. So as I got older, I started hearing people around me. My little sister said, oh, you're so lucky. And I was like, I had just won the #1 ranking in kickboxing, the IKF. And I looked at her like, okay, I was actually, I think I was icing my ankle or my foot in a bucket of water. And I'm kind of looking at her like, why am I so lucky? What are you talking about? I had no idea. Literally, what are you talking about? What luck? What? I didn't win money. Like, what are you talking about? Because the night before, I just won another match. And she goes, well, you always win at everything you do. You're always the best. You're always a state champion or ranked or blah. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, you're so lucky. I'm like, how is that luck? I go, Amber, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to run 5, 6, 7 miles. I do 200-300 push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks before I even start the day, before the sun even comes up. I've been doing that since I was in, I think it was 4th or 5th grade. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, I want to win a championship. I'm like, well, how many times have I invited you to practice? She goes, oh, well, I don't want to go to practice. I'm like, how many times have I tried to get you to start jogging and start, getting in shape? She goes, oh, I don't want to get up, like when it's raining and cold like you do. I'm like, see, you don't really want to be a champion, all right? So, number one, it's not luck, all right? It's hard work, years and years, decades of hard work, okay, and effort. So, here's the thing. A lot of people started looking at me like, well, you're lucky, or I wish, here was another thing, I wish I was like you. I'm like, Well, you could be like me. You could get up in the morning and run 6 or 7 miles and do your push-ups and sit-ups and do your shadow boxing and your stretching and then go to practice and blah, 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 and do sparring and getting punched and kicked in the face every freaking day for 5 rounds or 6 or 7, 8 rounds. Well, I don't want to do that. I'm like, yeah, you don't want to do it. It's not luck. But they were saying things like, I wish I was you. And finally when I go, what do you mean you wish you were me? Like, what do you mean? Well, I wish I was confident like you. And I remember just going, confident? Me? I never saw myself as a confident guy. I tell you what, when I started seeing myself as confident after this whole narcissist thing, when I saw the light, that's when I became confident. That's when I found myself. But and that was just very recently. My whole life growing up, I never was confident about anything, ever. Here's the thing. I want to let you know something. Every time I stepped in the boxing ring, the kickboxing ring, every wrestling match, every single one, even kickboxing in sparring, every single day, I didn't have confidence. I didn't have, I guess the word say, well, you don't have doubt. Yeah, I do. Do you know, okay, the reason why it's so effing scary to go on in the match, it's not because you're afraid you're going to get hurt. I remember a girl in high school, someone I really like, actually, she's a really cool person, love her to death. But I remember she said something, she goes, oh, what's the big deal? Just go out there, blah, 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 like, don't be such a baby. And I realized she thought we were afraid of getting hurt. No, we were afraid of losing. That was the biggest fear. And I realized that moment, I was like, oh, she doesn't understand. It's not getting hurt. I got hurt every day in practice. It was losing. I didn't have that sense of certainty or confidence. Like, I've got this 100%, no problem. When I was in airborne infantry, every time we were putting on our suits, do you really think I had total confidence? Fuck no. I'm thinking, fuck. Because the guy who packs your chute, you never even meet. You don't know who does that. There's a group of guys that pack your chutes. It's literally faith. You're like, I hope to God he did it right. Because sometimes they don't do it right. It'll wrap up and it'll do what's called a cigar roll. Okay? And you go plummeting down. Okay? So it's not that we didn't have any doubt. It's that we decided to do it anyways and face the fear. Okay? A lot of people would say, oh, well, you're so lucky. You're so confident. And I'm like, no. It's a misunderstanding of the definition of confidence. Confidence doesn't mean you have no fear. Confidence means you're fucking terrified. You're scared to death to jump out of that plane. You're scared to death to step into the ring against another guy who's been training for 8+ weeks, specifically for this fight, to kick your fucking ass, to knock your head off. That guy's a good fighter, and he can hit really fucking hard. There's a real good chance you're going to get hurt. But you do it anyways. When you're standing in that door, ready to jump out of that plane, that light, you're waiting for that fucking light to turn green. You're scared to fucking death. You're like, fuck, just turn the fucking light. Because like, okay, I'm ready, turn the fucking light. It's like, fuck, you want him to turn it so you can do it. Because otherwise, fear starts creeping in. That's the point. Here's what confidence is. You could write this down if you want. Confidence is facing your fear and doing it anyways. Period. That's confidence. Each and every time. That's what makes some fighters and athletes really good. Is in the beginning, like I remember my first boxing match, I cried my eyes out. And I only lost by 1 point. I didn't get my ass kicked. It was because I was terrified. I had no one warn me like, hey man, the 10, 15 minutes before like you walk out and go in the ring, you're going to be fucking scared to death. Because that's when you realize, holy shit, you want to know when you realize it's getting real? Is when they wrap your hands. I remember when I got back into kickboxing, I was about 21, 22, something like that. Somewhere around, maybe 20. But I was in my 20s. I totally forgot. Because I was a state champion of boxing earlier. I totally forgot what it was like when you're sitting down in the chair, you got your hand on the other chair on the back, and your coach is wrapping your hands. That's when you're going, oh, this is when you know shit's getting real. like you're like, holy. That, for some reason, I think for me, and I think for most fighters, that's when you're like, fuck, I'm getting ready to go into the ring and get punched in the head really hard. Overcoming that fear and getting into state is what it's all about. Now, that's another subject, is getting into state, okay? And that's really what it is, because my first boxing match, I didn't know how to get in state. All I remember, I was in the ring, I was scared, and the referee was giving us the rules, and touch gloves, and the bell rang, and bam, that guy punched me right in the freaking nose, and my eyes just watered, and I stung, and I couldn't see anything. Luckily, I was smart enough to know to take a couple steps back and just move around the ring, and I had my hands up until my eyes cleared, until the sting went away. It didn't really go away, but I could see enough, and I could at least, defend myself to some degree. So here's the point. After that first match, you begin to start getting fired up. Because, come on, Mikey, do your jump jacks. Hit the pads, get fired up. And they're trying to help you, and you begin to learn how to do it. The thing about it is, don't. Okay. This is what narcissists are doing. They're acting like some people don't have doubt, but you have it, and now you're fucked. Everybody has doubt. Every person that starts a business, every day in business you have doubt. You're like, fuck, can I do it? Shit, I haven't got a client. Shit, no one's phone hasn't rang today. Damn, I didn't get any emails. Fuck, didn't make any book sales. You have doubts every day, every single day. The difference between those who do and those who don't are those who make the decision to step into it, to keep moving forward, even when they have no idea how the fuck they're going to do it. You learn as you go. But then you get these people, and I believe it's narcissists, who are like, well, if I don't absolutely know that I can do it, then I'm not going to do it. Or if I don't see every single step of the plan, then I'm not going to do it. Life doesn't work that way. That is an unrealistic. Do you think the first day I stepped into boxing practice, I knew everything that I was going to have to learn to be a state champion? I had no fucking clue. I remember going, I don't know what the F I'm doing here. And I was scared and nervous. And coach goes, do a jab. Here's how you do it. And it was just a really awkward step-by-step process. Math class was the same way. Science class was the same way. Every class that you took, your first day, your first week, you didn't know what you were doing. In fact, it took a couple weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, for your brain to finally catch a clue as to what was going on. And even then, you still don't know what's coming. Nobody does. Even the teacher. Okay. When I first started doing NLP and hypnosis, I remember my first client. I was fucking terrified. Now, mind you, during the trainings, and this was like a year plus year and a half training, series of 3 weeks and 5 week trainings, every technique you learned, they had you do it 5 times with 5 different people, or five times with each different person. So you do this stuff over and over and over. And I remember when I came home, I would do it on my family members. I would do it on my neighbors. I would do it on strangers. Somebody's like, oh my God, I'm scared. My heart's hurt. Really? Here, I can help you. And it was like an opportunity to practice this technique with a real live person that I didn't know. So I kind of built up tried to build a comfort. Well, let me tell you something. I remember the first time someone came in. And that night before, I was like, fuck. I was looking at all my manuals, listening to NLP audio tapes and hypnosis tapes and the stuff I trained in. I was looking at the mini manuals, and I was going to the text because you don't know exactly what they're going to come in with. They might give you an idea, and you don't know what's going to happen. So what I did was I had been meditating for years at that point. So I literally meditated and did this deep breathing technique for an hour. Well, I did the breathing technique for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe, and then I meditated for about an hour until I was totally calm. And the oddest thing in the world happened when they came in. It was like I was wide open, and as they started talking, I saw it, and I was like, oh, I know it. Like, I knew exactly what to do. I knew exactly how to help them, and bam, I just went right into it. But if you think before the 2 days leading up to it, and especially the night before, that I didn't have doubt, holy shit, I had freaking doubt. And this went on for a long time. So my one little secret that I did was I would do this deep breathing technique, and I would meditate for about 40 minutes or so.